Welcome to Yogaroo Online. So in this practice, what we're going to do is kind of an evolution of what we did last week. Last week we were lengthening through the tip of the crown and finding lovely kind of side bends as well. So this week, slightly different and anatomical, but also just more of a sense of finding your safety. We're going to explore the idea of reaching and expanding. And the way I've been looking at it when I was building the sequence is this idea of really utilizing the full space of your mat, but kind of almost giving yourself the parameters of the mat as your cocoon, your safety, your little net or nest. So we're going to be kind of really expanding through the arms. And again, this is all to do with your unique range of movement. So just if your shoulder doesn't do what my shoulder does, or your shoulder might be more effective at its range of movement than mine, working within what's uniquely comfortable to you. So, you know, if the shoulder is just rotating this amount, that's it. Staying away from the pinchy kind of sensations and just feeling the lovely expansion through the limbs to whatever range feels good for you. And really using the four corners of your mat, so really kind of reaching. And I would suggest you kind of try to I'll be encouraging you as well to kind of keep the limbs long as we're moving, like, you know, rather than not in a horribly rigid way, but, you know, just a lovely length. It's like you're trying to draw little lines through the air with your fingertips. Okay, so that's our theme. I'm going to start with a slightly different warm-up today relating to our theme. So usually we start with our cat-cows. This week we're going to do kind of a breath-focused flow. So if you want to come along with me, you're going to do your right hand forward. I'm going to demo it with the left hand coming forward so that you can actually see what I'm doing. So come up to your all fours there. Inhale and just step the left or your right fingertips to the top corner of your mat. So again, we're kind of exploring all of the inches of our mat and kind of expanding within it. This is our inhale. Our exhale, we're just going to press our hips back slowly towards our heels and drag our hand back down through our mat until our fingertips reach to the back of our mat comfortably. Now the gaze can stay forward, or you can follow the fingertips with your gaze if that feels nice for you. And then that is your inhale or your exhale. And then your inhale, you're going to circle that fingertips up and around to the front of your mat again and reach to the top of your mat. So I'll go through it with you again, and then we'll flow with the breath and give you a second option of how to do the hand there, relating to the way I was talking about keeping everything wide and drawing. Now I know we're breaking the boundaries of our mat here, but you know, this idea of reaching the fingertips. So inhale here with the fingertips reaching forward. Make sure that you're nice and broad through the collarbones there. Don't let your shoulders sink down. Inhale here and exhale. If you want to, if you like to kind of keep the arm lengthened to really expand through the fingertips, you can sweep the fingertips off the mat and draw fingertips all along the mat beside you, and then plant them towards the back of your foot. And then inhale to reach the fingers up and over, and then they end up at the top of your mat again. Okay, let's flow through that a few times. So just deciding yourself whether you want to keep within your mat here, your little safety cocoon, or whether you want to have the arm reaching strong and the fingertips drawing circles on the side of your mat there. Okay, let's start. We'll do 3 rounds of that. I'm going to move now over to my right side so that I can demo the left side when we come to that. So inhale here with the fingertips just forward of your mat there. Exhale, sweep the fingers down along the side of your mat until the fingertips reach the back of your mat. Hips towards your heels. Inhale, reach the arm up and over. You can open the chest a little bit there if it feels good, and plant the hands down. And then exhale again. Let's draw a line with the fingertips all along your mat there, either bending the elbow or keeping it straight. And then inhale, reach the arm. So make your arm as long as you can, and then plant the hand back down again. Let's do one more round of them. So inhale here and then exhale, draw the fingertips along the mat or sweeping it off the mat, fingertips to the back of the mat, and then inhale, reach the arm up and over. Okay, we'll move over to the second side. We'll do, I demoed 1 or 2 in there, so maybe we'll do 5 sides on this, 5 rounds on this side to make us equal. So fingertips to the top of your mat, the left corner of your mat there. Inhale here. And then exhale, draw the fingers back as you gently let your hips come back towards the back of the mat. So adding a little bit of muscular awareness here, you can use your outer hips there as your brakes. So you're moving really slowly and you're hugging your hips towards the midline, lifting the pelvic floor and controlling your lift and your drop down of the hips with the muscles of the back of your pelvis there. Okay, and then inhale, sweeps the arm up and over, fingertips to the top left corner of your mat. And then exhale again, sweeping the fingertips back, second round. Back of the mat. And then inhale, using your strong legs, your strong hips to lift your hips up, fingertips to the top of the mat. And exhale, sweeping the fingertips back. Now getting into a little bit of a flow now. You move with your breath here, even if it's different from what I'm doing. Inhale, reach the arm up and over, top of the mat. Let's last round, and then exhale, using your brakes. Lift the pelvic floor here, reach the fingertips back to the back of your mat. And inhale, drawing lines in the air with the fingertips, coming back to tabletop position here. Okay, so back to tabletop position. Let's have the legs a little bit closer than hip distance apart just for balance. We're going to do circles with our hips. Again, I'll demo on the left side so you can see me, and then I'll revert to my right side. On our inhale, we're going to lift the hip up to the side here. So have an awareness. It's okay if the hips open a little bit because that will naturally happen, but try not to have them too open. So it's really the joint that's opening rather than the whole hip lifting out to the side. So this is our inhale. Our exhale, we're going to press into the air with our sole of our foot, reach it back. So the foot is flexed here, and then the hips kind of square again here because we're pressing the hips or the sole of the foot back towards the back, and the toes are reaching down towards the mat. That's our exhale. And then our inhale, again, we're going to sweep the leg forward and open it out to the side. So the foot is reaching to the side now. And then exhale, reach the foot back. And as you reach the foot back, the leg actually rotates in its socket and the toes reach down towards the mat again. Okay, so let's do 3 rounds of that now. I'm going to change to my right-hand side. You're going to stay with your right-hand side. So inhale, lifts that leg out to the side. Keep the foot really flexed here. It just gives you an idea of what direction the foot is facing. And then exhale, press the foot like you're pressing into something, the foot back towards the back of your mat. Rotate your whole foot until the toes reach towards the mat there. Inhale, reaches the leg, the knee forward towards your chest, and then opens it out to the side. Squeeze into the back of the hips there, your buttocks muscles, and then exhale, press the foot back like you're pressing something back behind you. Rotate the foot around until the toes face towards the ground. We'll do 1 more of them. Inhale, brings the leg forward. Our inhale continues to lift the leg up to the side, and then exhale, presses the foot back like you're pressing into something behind you, pressing into the wall behind you. Rotate the foot around until it faces towards the ground, and then just bring that leg down. Okay, we do the same thing on the left side now. I'll demo once or twice, and then we'll do 3 rounds just to make sure we're nice and equal on both sides. So just remembering the inhale lifts the leg out to the side. Keep the foot really flexed here as an indication of what way the hip is rotating. Exhale, press the foot back like there's an imaginary wall behind you. Press the foot into that imaginary wall, toes face towards the ground. That's your exhale. And then inhale, we'll do our 3 rounds. Now bring the leg forward and up to the side. Open it up, keep the knee bent, and exhale, lengthen the leg out, straighten the knee, toes face towards the ground. 1 more round. Inhale, reach that knee forward, open it out to the side, nice and slowly, and then exhale, presses that foot back against your imaginary wall, tip the toes around until they reach towards the ground, and then bring that knee down there. Okay, so definitely knees together for this one. We're going to do a little bit of reaching and coming back to the core. So we're going to lift let's start with just reaching that right leg back there. Come up onto the toes of the right leg, reach the left arm forward. Okay, lift that right leg now. You make sure you've got your feet or your leg and your hand of your grounding base there, equally distanced so that it keeps you steady. And then on your exhale, we're going to draw the elbow towards the knee there. Inhale to reach it out, press it to that imaginary wall again, reach forward towards another imaginary wall, and then exhale, bringing it all down. Lift the spine up towards the ceiling to give a little bit of space. Inhale, last time, reach, press, 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 reach the fingertips forward, and then exhale, lift the spine up, find space. So a little bit of core work there. Let's bring left hand down, right leg down. Same thing, second side, reach that left leg away. Coming up onto the balls of the left foot, reach the right arm forward there. Fingertips towards the midline. And then we're going to lift that left leg up, okay? So inhale and exhale, bending towards, elbow towards knee there. Lifting the spine. Inhale, reaching, walking really slowly here so that your whole core is stabilizing you. And exhale, knee to elbow. Last time, reaching, inhale, and exhale, knee to elbow. Let's bring it down now to all fours. Let's just move the hips around a little bit from left to right, circle them any way that feels good for you, even a few rounds of cat-cow. We've one more warm up to do here, a little bit more work for the shoulder joint. Okay, so again, I'm going to demo on this side. You're going to be using the right hand. We're going to lift the right, you're going to do a right finger up towards just the base of your skull there, and open your chest to the side there, to your right side. This is your inhale. And then on your exhale, you're just going to reach the right fingertips under the left arm and come down as far as is comfortable for you towards the mat. So you're using, you'll see it, I'll demo it on this side now. I'm reaching up and then I'm using this elbow to the side as my brakes, and then I'm reaching the arm forward. Okay, so I'll keep it with the right side now. Right fingers to back of the head. Inhale, open the chest. Left elbow straight. Exhale, left elbow bent. Use it as your brakes. Press your fingertips into the ground. Reach that right fingertips through underneath your left arm. Last round. Inhale, reach the right arm. Oh, actually, fingertips, the elbow. So actually, to reach the elbow up, open the chest there, and exhale, bend the right, or bend the left arm. Reach the right fingertips under. And then we'll do the same thing on the second side. So left fingertips to the back of the head. Inhale, open. So see, can you reach the elbow up towards the ceiling? Feel a little chest opening there. And exhale, bending the right elbow now as your brakes, reaching the left fingertips through. Now I find it nice for the shoulder to have the palms facing up here as I feed it through the right arm. Inhale, reach the elbow up, open the chest. And exhale, reach the hand through under the right arm here. Last time, inhale. Lifting up through the chest, reach that elbow up, and then exhale, feed that left arm through the right arm, use the right elbow as your brakes. Coming back to all fours again. Let's do 1 or 2 rounds of cat-cow. That's our warm-up done. And using your breath, maybe circling the hips again, maybe coming into that figure 8 if you know it, like literally drawing a figure 8 with your tailbone. Okay, and then we're going to come up to standing. So left leg forward, come up onto the balls of the right foot, lift right knee, step right foot forward, folding down. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high, and exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, just coming to Tadasana for a few breaths, and just feeling how it feels to be standing in your practice now. So feel those little sensors in the soles of your feet, giving your body feedback in how it is standing and what's the surface underneath it. So is it steady? Do you have carpet under your mat? Do you need to work a little bit harder, or do you have a nice hard floor underneath you? So always feeling for your surface through your mat. Okay, so inhale, reach the arms up high. And then exhale, we're going to bring our hands to our knees here. So we're coming kind of to a half chair, half forward fold type of thing, or Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. So we're going to press our hands, so the pads of our hands there against our knee, and see, can you tilt your pelvis forward here and reach the shoulders up and back. So we're finding a little back bend here. We're opening the chest. Okay, put both hands on your right knee, pour all your weight into your right foot, make the left foot be heavy here. And on your exhale, we're going to step that left leg back and reach the arms back. So we're coming into arrowhead. So the feet now are hip distance apart here for a little bit of balance. Reach the right fingertips here to the back of the left leg or to the small of your back, and circle that left arm up and around. So drawing those imaginary lines with the tips of your fingers, coming into a nice back bend here. Okay, let's take a few breaths here. I'm going to pause for a little bit in our poses here and really find the reach through our fingertips. And then for the next exhale, we're going to circle the arms around so that the left hand comes to the outside the right leg and the right arm reaches up and we come into an aided twist here. This is our exhale. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up high again. So see, have you lifted those hip bones up? Do you need a little bend in that back knee to make sure that your pelvis isn't tilted forward from a little bit of tension in the front of those hip flexors there? Inhale, reach the arms up high again, fingertips bright and widely open towards the ceiling. Exhale, circle the arms around with intention, interlace your fingers and reach your hands down towards in between your legs there. This is our exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up high again. And then exhale, we're just going to place both hands on our right knee, step the left leg forward and folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, reach the chest forward. And exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, we move it through to the second side now. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands to knees there, same starting position. So pressing the pads of your hands into your knees, tilting your pelvis forward any amount here, feeling the strength of your upper back there, reaching those shoulders up and back towards the back of your hips there. Place both hands onto your left knee here, and then just gently with control, stepping that right leg back, making sure that you're hip distance apart, your feet are hip distance apart, reach the fingertips back on your exhale. Now reach that left hand either on the small of your back or to the top of that right thigh and reach the left or the right hand up and over to the back left corner of your mat here. Lots of lefts and rights today. Let's pause here for a few breaths before we move on. Really feel the reach of your fingertips here. Feel that nice side bend as well through the right side of your ribs. And then on your next exhale, we're going to circle wide and with intention the fingers just to the inside of the left leg there. Reach the left arm up. Okay, so right hand to the outside of the left leg, left arm reaching up. Inhale, reach both arms up again here now. And exhale, widely circle the arm, fingertips wide, interlace the hands, and exhale, reach the hands back towards the space between your legs there, coming into our back bend. So opening up through the chest, making sure you're keeping a little bit of awareness between that bottom rib and your hip bone there. So using a little bit of containment of the core to support the lower back. Inhale, reach both arms up again. Exhale, hands either side of that left leg. Step the right leg forward, folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, reach the chest forward. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up high, plant those feet into the ground. As you reach, you plant. And exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, we'll move through now to our second flow. Inhale, reach the arms up high, starting the same way. And then exhale, hands to the midline. Bring the pads of the hands to the tops of the knees here. Purposely tilt the pelvis forward, open the chest, and feel the strength of your upper back there. It's like your hands are glued to your knees there, and you're desperately trying to reach the chest up, but they're attached. So that's where the back muscles start to activate here. Pour all your weight into your right foot and step that left leg back there now. Hands reaching back for our exhale. Now this time, listen carefully, we're going to plant that left foot now, reach the right arm up and over and sneak our way into reverse warrior. This is our inhale. For our exhale, we're going to straighten that right knee, bend the left knee, so you're pivoting your feet around to the back of the mat and reaching both arms forward, so like a version of skater pose. Okay, and we're flipping back to the front of the mat, so a little bit of hip work here. So reach the arms up towards the ceiling, pivot that left foot around, bend the right foot, pivot the right foot around, and coming into a warrior with the arms reaching. We're going to interlace the hands behind our back. Inhale to reach up through the chest there, and then exhale, keeping the hips kind of towards the side of your mat, or kind of at a 45-degree angle. We're going to reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling as our chest comes down just to the inside of the right knee there. And then our inhale, we're going to pivot on the ball of that left foot, reach the arms up high again for our high lunge, and then exhale, both hands onto your right knee, step the left leg forward and folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, reach the chest forward. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up high again. And exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, so we do the second side. You stay where you are. I'm just going to swap to the end of my mat. Okay, so inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding down, hands to knees again. Let's pause here for a second. Tilt the pelvis forward, opening the chest, feeling the strength of the upper back there, trying to lift those shoulders up and back, even though the hands are glued onto the knees. This time we're going to put both hands onto our left knee and step that right foot back, grounding it this time. As on our inhale, we come into reverse. So sweeping that left arm now up and over, right hand onto the right thigh. Now listen carefully, we're going to do that swap to the back of the mat and swap to the front of the mat again. So we're going to pivot the left foot around to a 45-degree angle, the right foot around to face the back of the mat, bending the right knee, reach both arms over the right leg here now. Draw the navel in towards your spine. You use your whole core to support your back. Reach the arms up, straightening the right leg, pivoting the foot to 45, bending the left leg, foot to face the front of the mat, coming into our warrior with our arms reaching. Inhale, interlace the hands behind the back, reach the chest up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, just coming down just to the inside of that left leg there. Inhale to pivot the right foot to the front of the mat, reach the arms up high again. And exhale, let's place both hands on the left knee, step the right leg forward and folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, reach the chest forward. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high. And exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, let's take it through our final flow, and then we might play around with a few of them if we've time. So starting the same, inhale, reach the arms up high again, and exhale, hands to the knees here. Okay, so this time we are going to place the left hand to the outside of the right leg there and reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. So you're in kind of a twisted chair pose, Parvrita Utkatasana. Okay, so this is our exhale. For our inhale, we're going to step that left leg back and creep our way into this pose that we did at the start of our practice, where the right hand comes to either the small of your back or to the back of the thigh, and the left fingertips reach up and back to the back right corner of your mat, okay? Let's stay here for a breath or two while you take a breather. Okay, now we're coming to warrior on the right side. So we need to really circle the arms around, pivot the feet, and find our way into warrior, okay? So we were at the front, the hips were to the front of our mat, and all we did was open them out to the side of our mat and find our way into warrior. Okay, gazing over the front fingertips there. And then we're going to inhale again into our reverse. There are two different ways to reverse, one with the hips forward and one with the hips to the side of the mat. And then exhaling, pivot the feet now to a 45-degree angle to the side of your mat here now. And we're going to take our legs into goddess pose. Let's just bring a little bit of movement into our hips. And bring your hands to the tops are just slightly inner of the thigh there. And actually feel the engagement of the muscles as you swing your hips from side to side. Okay, inhale to lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, just tilt the pelvis forward, bending the knees any amount or straightening them, whatever suits you. My knees feel like they need to be bent for this one. Okay, so right fingertips or left fingertips to the center of your mat there, okay? So left fingertips to the center of your mat. And then inhale, reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. So taking it into a twist. Reach the fingertips high here. So grounding down through the left fingertips, reaching through the right fingertips. Inhale here one more time, and then exhale, sweep that right arm down. Do the same the second time. Let's take an inhale here, and then exhale, sweep the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Feel your connection with the ground with the right fingertips as you reach up through the left fingertips. And then swing the right arm down towards the ground and just start to walk the fingertips forward any amount that feels comfortable for you. So lengthening through the crown. Seeing the tip of your pelvis dictate how far forward you reach the fingertips rather than just the whole upper back curling down towards the ground. Press strongly into your feet here. Now, they are your contact with the ground. Even though your fingertips on the ground, you really want your feet planted here. Nice, strong legs. Okay, and then just walk your hands back here. Exhale one more time and inhale. Let's just place our hands on our knees and gently come back up. Pivot the feet around to the front of your mat here. Inhale, reach the arms up high, just taking one breath in our high lunge. And then exhale, hands to the front leg, step that left leg forward, folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, reach the chest forward. And exhale, folding down. Inhale, press into your feet, particularly the back of your heels there. Reach the fingertips up high. And exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, second side. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And then exhale, coming down, hands to the knees. Okay, just taking a breath here, now getting ready to do our twist. I'm going to go to the back of the mat so I don't have my back to you. Okay, so this time we want our right hand to the outside of the left leg there, and you reach the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Inhale here, and then exhale, creep that right leg back, coming into high lunge legs. And then we're going to bring the right hand or left hand to either the small of the back or the back of that right thigh and reach the left fingertips up and over to the back of your mat. Let's take 1 or 2 breaths here. Feel the full extent of your reach here. And then we're going to circle the answer. So try and keep your arms nice and straight here as we circle our way. See how I just came into it. Sneak your way into your warrior there. And on our next inhale, we come into reverse. So right hand to the back of the top of the right thigh, left fingertips reaching up and over. And exhale to the side of your mat to find your way into goddess pose again. Let's bring the hands to the inside of the thighs there and just bring a little bit of movement into the hips, but keep length through the spine here. Okay, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to take it into a twist, but this time we'll stay up a little bit higher. So let's bring we'll twist to the right first. The left hand, so this is my left hand here. I don't mirror because I'm usually to the side of the mat. So I have my left hand here to the inside of my left thigh. We'll reach my right arm up and over, bending that left arm if you need to. Reach the fingertips high now. Really own the whole space of your mat from the floor to the ceiling. And then coming back to center, place the right hand to the outside or the inside of your right thigh. Inhale, reach that left arm up and over, bend the right elbow if you need to. Really feel the reach. Press into that left foot, reach through the left fingertips. And then coming back to center. Let's take one more forward fold. So really tilt the pelvis forward here, maybe even placing your hands on your hips there. It's like you're pressing your tailbone out towards the back of your mat there, or the side of your mat. And then from that tilted position, start to bring your hands down to the mat in front of you. And take some breaths here in this nice open forward fold. Let's take 3 breaths. And exhaling with the mouth wide open. So inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. 2 more times. Inhaling, deep breath through the nose. And exhaling with the mouth open, your full breath. 1 more time. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale your full breath. Okay, hands to the knees to come up. Pivoting your feet around to the front of the mat. Now take 1 breath in our high lunge, arms reaching high here. Exhale, hands to the front knee. Step the back leg forward. I think that's probably your right leg that came forward, and folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, hands to knees, reach the chest forward. And exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, we're going to do 1 more flow. It's nearly time to come down to the mat, but I'd like to explore taking little kind of highlights from each of those 3 sequences there that we did. Okay, so hopefully I'll remember it as I read. So let's go. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And exhale, folding down. Hands to the knees for this one. So remembering to press your hands into your knees, lifting your chest up, your shoulders reaching up and back towards the back of your hips here. Pour all your weight into your right foot here and reach your left foot back. So coming into high lunge or to arrowhead with the arms reaching back. Inhale, we're going to bring the right hand either to the small of the back or the back of the leg, reaching the left arm up and over. And then exhale. We're going to reach the left arm forward, reach the right arm up. And then inhale, we're going to reach both arms up again. And exhale, let's sneak our way into our skater pose. So pivot the feet around to the back of the mat and reach the arms towards the back of the mat. Inhale to reach the arms up again and pivot the feet forward to the top of our mat, high lunge with the arms reaching forward. Inhale, reach the arms up again. And then exhale, interlace the hands behind your back. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to come into our back bend, remembering a little bit of activity in the core there. Bending that back knee if it feels good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands on the top of that right knee. Step the left leg forward and fold it down. Inhale, reach the arms up high again. And exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, so we're going to take the second side on that. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And exhale, folding down, bringing the hands to the knees for this one. Pour all your weight into your right foot now, or your left foot now, and step that right foot back. Arms reaching back, so arrowhead. We're going to bring the right fingertips, or the left fingertips back at the right thigh, reach the right arm up and over to the back of your mat. Inhaling and exhaling. Then you're going to sweep that right fingertips now forward. So drawing the line, remembering the long, strong arms to the outside of the left leg and reach the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Now we're going to pivot around to the back of our mat. So circle the hands again, swinging the arms towards the back of our mat, taking our skater pose. So the feet have just pivoted all the way around to the back of your mat. Reach the arms forward. And then we're going to pivot the feet around to the front of your mat again, come up onto the ball of the left foot or the right foot now, and reach both arms forward. Inhale to reach them up. Exhale, hands to the front knee. Step that right leg forward, folding down. Inhale for the last time, coming up halfway. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Let's just take a few breaths into Tadasana now before we come down to the ground. So take your feet nice and hip distance apart, lift all 10 toes, place them down one at a time. So we're grounding down. Let's grow from there. Feel the energy coming up through your inner ankles. The legs are strong, hips are nicely stacked over the ankles, shoulders are stacked over the hips. Let's reach the arms up high now. So sweeping the arms up nice and wide here. So really feeling your full extent of your height, including your arms and your fingertips here. So the more you press your feet into the ground, the more you will feel the extent that you can reach through the fingertips. At the same time, we don't want to be over pulling the arms out of their sockets. So maybe draw your arms back a little bit into their sockets. So containment within your reach, just like we are using our mat to contain our movement. One more inhale here, and then exhale, sweep the arms. Last time, drawing circles with your fingertips, coming back to Tadasana. Okay, so let's come down to the mat. So inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding down. And let's just bring right knee down and the left knee down, getting ready to come into the restorative part of our practice. So coming onto your backs here now. So coming down all the way to your back. For your first pose, we're going to make ourselves as small as possible, and then we're going to reach as wide as possible. So coming into our nice little egg shape on the ground. So wrapping your arms around your legs. We won't include the neck in this because we don't want to bring a little tension into the back of our neck there. So really hugging your knees in towards your chest and making yourself as small and neat as possible, maybe even hugging those elbows in towards midline too. And take 1 or 2 breaths here in this tiny little shape. And at the same time, feeling the activity, the little bit of stretch to the back of the muscles of your hips there, your buttocks muscles, and the lower back maybe. Now with control, just gently releasing your legs. And it's almost like they are doing the expansion themselves. So gently letting go. And it's like you're letting them dictate what they want to do. We're going to reach the legs forward to the front, to the top of your mat, and reach the arms overhead for taking it into a star shape. So reaching as wide as feels good for you. If the arms don't comfortably come down to the ground, have them more out into a T shape, just completely depending on the range of movement within your shoulders. Let's stretch through the left toes and the right fingertips, breaking the boundaries of our mat here. And then reach through the left fingertips and the right toes. And then reach through everything. Make yourself as wide a starfish as possible. And then gently bringing your arms down beside your side again. Let's take a few breaths in constructive rest. So constructive rest being the knees bent, the feet mat distance apart, knees tucked or knees knocked in together. So just the most energy efficient way to have your knees bent here. They're holding themselves up, palms up towards the ceiling there. I'm just taking these few breaths here. Feel the back of your spine, the sacroiliac joint kind of spreading there across your mat. Starting to soften the breath now. Maybe even extending that exhale a little bit of ujjayi breath, if you know what that it's part of your practice at the back of your throat there, as you kind of push the heat, the kind of buildup of heat out of your body and come back to balance. And then just getting ready to roll over to your right hand side, using your left arm to help lift you up. And we're going to make our way into our first pose. So we're going to do some nice supported twists. We're going to start off with the bolster and then build up to one where we're lying on our back. So have your bolster there. You can have maybe a blanket at the top of your bolster, or actually there's loads of different ways you can have your blanket here. You can also support the blanket here if you've got a larger cleavage to give a bit of space, or at the top of your mat if you feel that reclining forward is too much for you, but just anywhere that the blankets, that's your options for your blanket. So we're going to have different options for the legs as well. The way I like to do the legs is, so I'm on my left hip here now. I have my left knee kind of reaching straight forward, and then the right leg is kind of at about a 45-degree angle there. I hook my big toe around the back of my right calf there, and that kind of like secures my legs in space so that there is no kind of requirement for muscle activity to keep them in their shape. Okay, so now that I have my legs sorted, I'm going to place both hands either side of my bolster there. Lengthen up through the spine. Always good to lengthen before you come into a twist. And then exhale, you're bringing the center of your spine, so the front of your spine down along the ridge of your bolster. So you need to kind of make sure that you're coming down into the center of the breastbone there. And then bringing yourself onto your left cheek. I'm going to stay just up on my chin because I don't want to block the mic there if I come onto my cheek. A little ribbon on my trousers there, Debbie. Okay, so find a position for your arms, and usually kind of maybe just letting the elbows drift away from the bolster a little bit so that your shoulders aren't up around your ears. Palms can be facing up if you need a little bit of cooling down, or down if the kind of open forearms is a little bit uncomfortable. So with every exhale here, can you feel yourself really dropping into the support of your bolster? With every exhale, you just become heavier as all the muscles start to resist the urge to continue gripping or continue in their activity and their exercise. And even sending signals down to the muscles from the brain, and just kind of telling them, this is the relaxing part now. You can switch off, which scientifically has been proven to work, that, actual internal signaling or voices that feel like they're in your head, sending signals down to the muscles, actually triggers reactions in the muscles to react and to soften. Now check in with your legs there, make sure they're still comfortable. Has the arrangement I've suggested suited you, or is there something else that is much nicer for your legs? Always absolutely fine to have a few seconds of fidgeting as you come into your restorative poses. As you inhale, feel the support that the bolster is giving you under your belly there. And as you exhale, feel yourself just gently dropping down into the support a little bit more. Let's get ready to move over to our second side. So let's just do this as an energy efficient as possible. So just pop both hands either side of your bolster there, press into your hands just enough to lift yourself up. You can either feed your legs under you and come onto your other side, or you can sweep your arm over and windscreen wipe the legs to the second side. I'm going to pop my toes around so I'm not facing you. Okay, so now you're on your left or your right hip now, and so the right toes, big toes, just hooked around your left leg there, securing the legs in space. Lengthen up through the spine and exhale, drape your whole spine, the center of your spine, over your bolster there. Coming onto your right cheek this time. Remembering the position of your arms, maybe just having the elbows a little bit away from your bolster so that the shoulders aren't tucking up around your ears, gives you space to just completely relax. Feel the prop, the bolster supporting you. Feel it under your belly on your inhale and feel yourself melting into its support on your exhale. Scan from head to toe, make sure that you're completely comfortable here before we settle into a few moments in this lovely prone twist. Get ready to come out of that pose now. So just crawl your hands back either side of your chest there. Press into your hands to lift yourself up. And then we're going to get ready for our next pose. So I'm going to come on to my left hip here again now to demo it so that you can see me. We are going to pop a blanket. Pop that out of the way so you can see me. So pop a blanket along your mat there now, just to give the hips a little bit more spongy support. So that's our first blanket. We are then going to roll. Do we have a roll? We do have a roll. So our second blanket is take it into a, start with the 4 fold. So your blanket folded in 4. And then we're going to fold it again. So it's about that size there. And then we're going to roll it on the longer edge. Okay, so we're just going to do a long roll. And you'll end up with something kind of around about that thick. Okay, we're going to pop that in the center of your blanket there. Pop another blanket to the top left corner of your mat. If that makes sense now. Yeah, you're going to sit on your left knee there. Grab your bolster and pop it in between your legs there. So if the bolster is too big, mine's quite big, but it'll be fine once I lie down. This is really just to keep the legs in line with their hip joints there. So if your bolster is too wide, feel free to grab your blankets and use them as well to go, maybe give the bolster a go. So we want this rolled blanket here to come into the small of our back when we lie down. Okay, so if you listen carefully, we're going to open up ourselves into a twist here with the legs on the bolster. That's why sometimes the wider bolster is more forgiving, because the twist will open quite strongly into that top here, hip here. So something wide between your legs can be actually quite useful for this one. So gently walking yourself down onto your left elbow, reach the left arm to the left side, and then sweeping the right arm up and over. So because we've come into a twist, I'm hoping that that blanket will support your right shoulder if you need it. So not everybody will need that blanket there. So what we're looking for is that the shoulder, the right shoulder, is not hanging in space, that it hits something. And you don't particularly want that blanket under your head, because then it's not just supporting your shoulder. So it's just to be sitting on under the shoulder if you need it. The arms are in cactus position. If that's too much for your shoulders, bring the arms into a T shape. And if that's not working for you, bring the arms down either side of the body. Now, if this twist that we've brought ourselves in, so we've got this bolster, or the rolled blanket underneath the small of our back, just to support our lower lumbar spine there. If this is quite a strong twist, either on your waist or on the hip there, what you can do to reduce the size of the twist is to pop something under that left knee. So the more you pop under the left knee, the less you're taking your legs out of the twist, which will make it a little bit more less of a strong opening. And just remembering again, with, like I say every week, with our restorative practice, we are really looking for gentle openings here, not big, strong stretches. So gentle openings through the whole chest, through the shoulders and through the hips here. Any strong sensations, it's just too much of a counterintuitive work that we're trying to do with our whole nervous system. So really feel the breath now, particularly in the right lungs, right side of the respiratory system, as we take some deep inhales and exhales. And just notice how the breath reacts to a twist. So it's incredibly nurturing and replenishing for the breath, but it can feel a little bit stifling sometimes. So just notice how it feels for you. Because at the end of the day, we are squeezing the system that is trying to expand. But then when we come out of our twist, we have massaged all those little tissue and micro muscles, and all the blood flows back into the system. Now checking in with your lower back there now, making sure that your roll is supporting your lower back, maybe shifting the position of your roll if it's not doing its job sufficiently for you. Check in with that right shoulder. Make sure that nothing is hanging in space. Grab your blankets, your props, anything around you, making sure that you just tuck them into anything that's kind of crying out for attention. Getting ready to come over to our other side. So just rolling the right arm back over, we'll gently come up to twist. We don't want to bring any big movement into our spine. Press your right arm down into the ground. So just place both hands back behind you there. And what can work for you really is just to, with the blanket or with the bolster in between the hips, you can literally just bring the whole arrangement and drop both hips to the right hand side now. So now I've come down onto my right hip there. I have my leg just under, a blanket under my leg. just to lift the leg up a little bit. And I'm opening my chest out to the left now. So I'm going to come down onto my right arm and just maybe even sneak that right arm forward, remembering to bring that blanket over now to the opposite side to support the left shoulder if you need it. And then just bringing the left arm into cactus position and opening it out to the left side of your mat here. Bringing both arms into cactus position now. Checking that your bolster is comfortably between the knees there. Checking that your rolled blanket is just absolutely supporting the lower back and to the right side, that lovely curve of the waist. And if you feel it's too high, if it's lifting your back up too much, you might need to take it out and take one of the rolls out of it. So it should be filling the space, but not necessarily creating an overarch in the lower back there. Feel the breath now in the whole left side of your respiratory system. Notice, does this feel different, or is it quite a familiar sensation to the right side? Check in with your hips, check in with your waist and that left shoulder. Just really asking yourself and having a conversation with your muscles to make sure that they are absolutely supported here in this gentle opening pose. Gently getting ready to come out of this pose now. We're going to make our way into Shavasana now. So maybe just grab that blanket that's under your shoulder, pop it out of the way. Rolling over to your right hand side now, press your left hand into the ground, just to lift yourself up gently. Pop the bolster just under the bottom of your mat there, where underneath your knees, where that they're going. And leave that blanket under your hips, a nice little bit of extra support. Move the blanket that was under your shoulder or under your lower back. Let's make a little neck roll here. So opening the blanket up to a fourfold and just rolling it once or twice and popping that up at the top of your mat there. You don't have to be too specific with it. And then as you come back, you can roll it up again and just again filling that space underneath your neck there, little curve of your neck, your cervical spine. So what also can be nice is if you have gone for the neck roll there, is to get your hands either side of the sides of that blanket there. So you're relying on the fringe of it, and just roll the sides underneath the whole thing. And the top part, roll it underneath until you make a little cocoon for your head there. That's a nice way to just contain any racing thoughts. Giving your head just a little bit of extra care. Now finding symmetry, finding length left and right. Fingertips may be facing up or palms facing up towards the ceiling, space between the arms and the sides of the body. Feel the left hip heavy on the ground and the right hip heavy on the ground. Left knee, back at the left knee heavy on the bolster. And back at the right knee heavy on the bolster. Back at the left heel heavy on the ground. Back at the right heel heavy on the ground. Your whole body simultaneously heavy and yet light at the same time. Staying here now, enjoying the last few moments of your practice. Getting ready now to come out of your Shavasana. Now rolling over to your right hand side. Using your left arm to support you. And gently making your way up to a comfortable seated position. Hands in prayer position at your heart. Thumbs to your third eye, to your lips, to your heart center, and namaste. So I hope you can bring some of the principles that we talked about in this practice into your everyday, this idea of really finding length through the limbs and finding your space. And look forward to seeing you again next week.